Going straight into our third professional fight of the evening, I'd like to first thank the table judges, Mr. Gerald Temeldan from Philippines, Thong Hong Klensak from Thailand, and Ali Ramen from Singapore. And our referee in the center of the ring will be Thong Hong from Thailand. Thank you. So this is a special attraction at super lightweight. Tonight we have a professional boxer going toe-to-toe with a former UFC superstar. First, introducing in the blue corner, with 22 victories, 10 coming from knockout, 2 draws and 24 losses. A former 2-time Indonesian champion, fighting out of the South Gym, weighing in at 63.2 kilograms, Heri Andriyanto!
He is an experienced veteran, super lightweight, 170 centimeters tall. 48 fights to his credit, with almost a 50-50 record, but it's a lot of boxing experience in terms of an advantage over a boxing debutant and very much a boxing novice in France's former UFC star, Taylor Lapilus. I'm liking Mike Hanko here with Chad Bennett. And you know, you got to wonder, Chad, whether Lapilus has bitten off a little bit more than he can chew. It's a big ask against an experienced journeyman first up.
As you said, Andriyanto has got a lot of boxing experience, and MMA is a different beast altogether. But we'll soon see. I mean, he looked very good at the weigh-in, Lapilus. Very strong, very fit. So we'll just see. It's going to be a very good test for him.
This super lightweight special attraction brought to you by the UBO, and introducing in the red corner, making his professional boxing debut, but with an MMA record of 11 victories and only 2 losses, fighting out of MMA Factory Paris in the blue shorts, weighing in at 63.6 kilos. Please be upstanding for Taylor Double Impact Lapilus!
Well, this is new territory for Lapilus. Frenchman had a good run in the UFC, just 2 defeats, and MMA is a game where defeats come more often than you might find in professional boxing. Very athletic guy, he can punch, he moves pretty well, but the question remains, has he got the distancing, the timing and the experience to deal with a specialist in the boxing ring?
Like, as you know, with the MMA game, you've basically got to be good at several arts. And it'll all come down to tonight, whether he's prepared well for boxing, whether he's done the rounds necessary in sparring against the quality sparring opponents.
So you can see their huge experience advantage. Andriyanto, 326 rounds. He's coming off 3 losses, but a lot of experience to give away. Once again, our third man in center ring, Sri Chat Chaichanan. This is a super lightweight belt.
Seconds out, round
3.5 kilo limit, 4x3. And you'll see straight away Lapilus, he's a southpaw, so he leads with his right hand, the power hand's the left, looking to try and get his foot on the outside of the lead leg of Andriyanto. Oh, good signs early on from range, Chad. Getting that lead hand dominance, not leaping in, and trying to get his foot on the outside. He's looks quite comfortable, and he's got that southpaw advantage.
Yeah, he does. He looks very comfortable, and he's come out and he's trying to be the aggressor, and he started the fight on the front foot, and he's, as you can see though, as you said, he's trying to find a hand for his left hand down the middle. But yeah, as of early in the first round, I'm pretty impressed with him.
Getting the foot on the outside, shortening the distance with that left hand, not being too impatient. That's pretty critical. And he looks like a far bigger man as well. Slipped the right hand there as well, so that's good signs. Seeing the shots coming. Andriyanto just backed up at this point. Not a lot of time to do your work, just 4 rounds. And he will need to adapt to that because he has fought a lot longer in terms of distance over his career. Just, he's getting dominated with that lead hand. He's allowing Lapilus to touch him with the lead hand, disturb the glove, and that's not allowing him to shorten the impact for his own right hand. Now, Lapilus is drifting to his left. I think he's trying to draw the right hand so he can counter. But he's got to be cautious there that he doesn't shorten up and walk into it.
He's boxing quite nicely, Lapilus, considering he's fighting a guy with far more experience. He looks pretty comfortable in the ring.
He does look pretty good, and even when he is drifting to his left, where the right hand comes, he's slipping it well. Andriyanto would do well to throw that right hand and then double up on it with a right hook, or throw the hook to where Lapilus is going to slip rather than where he just was. Good options too with his lead hand, showing some variation. 20 seconds to go in the first round of this special attraction bout. Former UFC fighter Taylor Lapilus, the French southpaw with the dark blue trumps and white trim. Andriyanto's not showing anything back at this point, and he will need to pick up his game. Good first round of professional boxing for Taylor Lapilus. Classic southpaw advantage, getting the lead hand advantage and starting to find a home for a straight left.
Yeah, Mike, I think I'd have to give the first round to Lapilus. Andriyanto he started the round very hesitant, and he might have just, it could be a case of look and see, and he might come out totally different in this next round. But a pretty good opening round for Lapilus.
It's noticeable too, Lapilus, he's a much bigger man, of course, coming from the MMA background. He'll be well accustomed to doing a good solid weight cut over the final couple of weeks. He looks definitely a pretty robust figure in there.
Yeah, it was 2 different people at the weigh-in, that's for sure. When I saw him at the weigh-in and when I've seen him now, he's probably going to put on at least 6 or 7 kilo.
And we're underway, round 2. This is a super lightweight bout. Taylor Lapilus, Frenchman, former UFC fighter, southpaw, starting off well once again. Nice, sharp, crisp punches. Good little up jab from the right hand. He's tapping down, coming over the top. And when that's not working, he's just thumb up jab on the inside. Andriyanto's now starting to fire a little bit more back. He knows he needs to do some work. Just not able to pull the trigger, and he might just be at that point in his career where just the reaction time has gone, Chad. It's the brain's telling him what to do, but the body's not listening.
Yeah, I think Andriyanto needs to let his hands do some more work. He's got to upset the rhythm of Lapilus, who's starting to get more and more comfortable as time goes on.
Well, the thing is too, he's looking good on an attack, but you know, maybe he wants to back him up, test the defenses, put him under pressure. It's easy to look good going forward. But I notice he's just dropping his left hand too. Might be a home there for the right hook. If Andriyanto drops a couple of right hands to the body and then decides to vary that and come over the top.
I think that would work pretty well at this stage of the fight. he just let a right hand go there, which just came up short off the mark. Andriyanto needs to throw more of those punches.
Well, he's got a good set of eyes though, Lapilus. He's bobbing well. He's got his range on point. And you can see if you look at his arms, he looks to have a sizable reach advantage. Nice little step away right hook. Unorthodox shot. Good movement there. Ghosting around the ropes. Staying just far enough out of range to not get caught.
Yeah, I find that he's finding his range, but he's feinting his right jab a lot, which is giving him very good distance and keeping Andriyanto away.
Well, you mentioned his feints there, and it's doing well because he's starting to buy those feints. Every one he's reacting to. Nice little sharp left hand doubles up on the lead right hand. Little pull left hands. Pretty good solid display early on. Andriyanto needing to find something now. He's got to solve the rhythm of the southpaw. He's getting countered. He's just throwing single shots. When he does throw his right hand, it wouldn't hurt him to throw a left hook, because the book on southpaws, you're always supposed to throw the right hand, but to be honest, they're very good at slipping the straight right. Sometimes you can catch them coming back with that left hook. That's round 2 in the bag. Another pretty dominant one for Taylor Lapilus. And so far, not much to dislike from the former UFC guy in his boxing debut.
Yeah, I'm reasonably impressed with him, Mike. He's boxing very well. He's doing all the right things, staying out of danger. He's countering well. Andriyanto, he needs to come forward. He needs to let his hands do the talking and try and back this guy up and upset his rhythm. But so far, Lapilus is doing a very good job.
You can see he looks pretty fresh. He's hardly been bothered in there. I don't think he's been stung by any shots. But he just looks like he's adopting the posture of a sparring partner as opposed to someone who's there to win the fight.
Definitely, it's a shame he hasn't watched some videos of the great Kostya Tszyu, who was a specialist with disposing of the southpaws. The straight right hand down the pipe, followed by a left hook.
Yeah, Costa, of course, he had very, very heavy hands. Watched his son Tim Tszyu fight just a few weeks back. Looks like heavy hands are a family gift. Lapilus continuing to do what he's done well, control the lead hand and use that control to land his own left hand and just circle himself out of trouble. Some good punching variation too in terms of his footwork. Getting closer and closer with that right hand too, Chad.
Definitely, he's starting to find his range now. He's moving around from left to right nicely too, mixing it up, making himself a difficult target to hit. And I'm actually pretty impressed with this guy at the moment. Coming from MMA straight over to boxing, he's doing a good job.
It's a very slick performance. Drops the left hand down there, then brings it back up top. Doesn't look like he's got particularly heavy hands, but he's not really setting his feet at this point. Uses the range beautifully though. Long, straight left, good uppercut. Turns himself out with the check right hook. Made a little right hand there. Just allowed Andriyanto just to get in a little bit tight. And you can see now he's starting to stalk him to the ropes. It's again, he gets just let him off the hook there. There's a lack of pressure from the Indonesian fighter. Might have been momentarily wobbled there. Just looked like he did a bit of a chicken dance. Really struggling to solve the puzzle that is the former UFC southpaw Taylor Lapilus. Nice head work, good head movement. Well, we talked about the adaptations and he's done it well. Moves his head well, finds his range, isn't falling in off balance like you'll find a lot of MMA guys do.
Yeah, he doesn't seem to be overextending, and that's one thing you'd think that he would suffer from is. But his footwork's reasonably good. He moves very well, and he seems pretty calm in there.
Andriyanto, he's just starting to get a little more desperate now and pushing forward, and that's when he's more likely to get hurt and just walk onto a shot, because Lapilus looks to be more of a counter fighter than he does an aggressive fighter, although he ate the left hook there. It's walking onto a shot, doubling the impact. As Andriyanto gets desperate, time's ticking away. Well, that's more of the same, the end of round 3 of 4. Taylor Lapilus looks to have taken each of those rounds pretty comfortably. Heri Andriyanto needs to do something in this 4th and final. Even an 8 count won't win him the bout. Needs a couple of 8 counts or knockdowns just to get even on the scorecards.
Andriyanto, he definitely needs to have a huge last round here. He's behind on the cards, there's no doubt about that. So let's see, maybe he can produce something. He's been saving it all up for this round, or who knows, but he definitely needs to. If he wants to win this fight, he's got to have a huge round here and try and stop Lapilus.
Yeah, well, if he's been saving up for Christmas, he shouldn't wait till New Year before he starts to spend his money, because he's only got 3 minutes now. That's the 4th and final round. Taylor Lapilus coming out of the red corner. Heri Andriyanto, the Indonesian fighter, in the blue, red and yellow shorts. Lapilus just doing what he's done well. Long, straight left. Decent lead hand work. Cutting good angles, taking advantage of being a southpaw. Now Andriyanto starting to come forward. But just the timing's not there. Nice head work, made him suffer for missing. Good counter left hand.
Nice countering from Lapilus. I'd like to see Andriyanto maybe try and go to the body with a left hook. Lapilus keeps hanging his right hand out as a bit of a range finder, and he's leaving himself open underneath.
Of course, with the southpaw too, the liver's on that lead hand side as well, so it's easier to get to than it is with a conventional fighter. Once again, good head movement. Doing the basics well, Lapilus. He's not really stepped onto any shots with genuine authority, but he's doing more than enough to win this bout comfortably. Just got his feet tangled up there for a moment. Something you often see with southpaws and conventionals. Nice little step around left hook there. Momentarily switched to conventional. Changed the angle. And Andriyanto was wobbled by that momentarily. Halfway through this, the 4th and final round. You notice when he just dips and weaves, you watch that left hand of his, it just goes up and down. There's an opportunity to sneak a right hand in there, but you've got to set him up. Got to read the rhythm and be able to pull the trigger.
That's been the problem for Andriyanto tonight. He just hasn't been able to pull the trigger. I no doubt he's trying his best to set something up. He just hasn't been able to, as you say, might pull the trigger.
Lapilus just having his way, pot-shotting now. Happy to take the victory. And halfway through this, the final round, well, that was the 10-second clapper. And a big mouse welt opening up underneath the eye of Andriyanto. But that was a pretty clinical victory, I suspect. Barring something very strange on the judges' scorecards. Taylor Lapilus, a pretty impressive debut in professional boxing.
I think he'd be very happy with that, and his trainer would be too. They didn't take an easy fight. They took a guy in Andriyanto that's very experienced, and he's done a fine job tonight. So, you know, I'm sure he'll take a lot out of that fight.
Yeah, also you often see guys walk in and fight comparative corpses in their first few fights, and you know, this guy was experienced enough to survive, and those extra rounds will be very valuable if he wants to continue to make a career in professional boxing.
Yeah, I think his confidence will be very high after that bout, and as I say, they'll go back to the drawing board and look at a lot of things, but overall they'll be very happy with the performance tonight.
And the winner on all scorecards at 40-36. Red corner, Lapilus!
No surprises there. Taylor Lapilus makes his professional debut a victorious one. We will be back shortly with our next vacant UBO Asia Pacific welterweight title. Hui Kim Fai up against the Indonesian Indra Ansar.
Boxing here. How did you feel about that special attraction fight?
Well, it just goes to show boxing takes a lot of fundamentals, it takes a lot of time. Taylor's come from the UFC, he's a great guy, he's a great fighter, he's got good movement, good footwork, a bit more to do in the boxing skills, but yeah, it's a great show, and the result was what it is.
So can we expect to see this young man back at Singapore in the near future?
Absolutely.
How did you feel working in a boxing ring versus the MMA cage?
Je me suis bien senti, une petite adaptation comme je m'en doutais par rapport au MMA, mais avec le boulot on va bosser.
I feel great. I need a little adaptation for this fight, but I definitely feel great. I think the next time I will do better than this time.
Amazing. And do you have any message for the people here in Singapore that came out here tonight?
Merci Singapour de m'avoir encouragé. Merci aux Français qui sont là aussi de Singapour. Je vous ai entendu.
Thank you Singapore. Thank you Scott to have given me the chance to showcase tonight. Thank you for the ring star. Thank you everybody.
Thank you. Make some noise, ladies and gentlemen, for this warrior.